Going to be talking about New Year's resolutions. We're having a new year starting. It's exciting. We're wrapping up this year. We're getting ready for the next year. And I'm wondering, what is your New Year's neuropathy resolution? So that's exactly what we're going to be talking about here in this live Facebook. To you Facebook support people, I'm thinking about you. I'm feeling blessed. I'm feeling like I have so many good things going on in my life. So, neuropathy, setting goals, can it be done? Let's just start out right off the bat. According to the NIH, more than 20 million people in the U.S., just the U.S. alone, are estimated to have some form of peripheral neuropathy. However, this figure could be way, way higher because there's so many people who have the symptoms of it but don't even think to go get checked. Some of my patients tell me they didn't even tell their doctor about it, and some of the doctors just don't know, and they just think, well, you're getting older, so there's probably I would estimate maybe 40 million, maybe 60 million people every year. But if you're watching it, you have neuropathy, or you have the symptoms of neuropathy, or somebody who you love has the symptoms, or perhaps neuropathy itself. Why don't we start there and just talk about, well, what are the most common symptoms of neuropathy? There's myriad symptoms. There's a ton of different things that could be occurring, but I would have to say primarily the top three that we hear would be burning, tingling, or numbness, sometimes all three at the same time, almost always starting in the toes and the feet first, and then we'll start feeling it in the fingers and the hands. But burning, tingling, numbness. There's another thing in medicine called paresthesias. That just means like weird sensations, and that's what happens when your nerves die off. They start to feel weird things. So burning, tingling, numbness, and all at the same time. Yeah, it's kind of weird, kind of crazy. We can also have weakness, which in and of itself can lead to balance problems. We can have some other weird things, like it feels like there's cardboard underneath my foot, but I look down and I'm barefoot. There is no cardboard. Bubble wrap, I've heard, feels like I'm stepping on gravel, rocks, nails. Hot, my feet feel hot, they feel cold. All sorts of ants crawling up my feet, my legs, I can't grasp my coffee cup, it's falling. All those things can be symptoms of neuropathy. Well, let's just actually define this term peripheral neuropathy, because I think it's important to know what is the definition of peripheral neuropathy. So I think that's always a great place to start. The central nervous system, of course, is in the center. That's going to be the brain and the spinal cord. We can have lots of problems with the central nervous system, from MS to spinal cord fractures or spinal cord injuries. We can have strokes. That would be an example of a central neuropathy. Now, peripheral neuropathy are all those nerves that leave the spine, like the ones in the neck that go down into the arms, the hands, the fingers, and then of course the nerves that leave the lower back and go down into the legs, the feet, and the toes. But we also have nerves that leave the spinal cord and go to our internal organs, like our heart, our lungs, our liver, our gut, our digestive system, the immune system, the respiratory system. So neuropathy, the peripheral neuropathy, can lead to other things like erectile dysfunction, gut issues, digestive issues, high blood pressure, low blood pressure. It can affect and impact things like other medical conditions like diabetes, which is a perfect segue. This goes to my next statement. What are the causes of neuropathy? So there's over 100. The primary number one cause for sure is going to be diabetes or even pre-diabetes. But there's other things. There's chemically induced, such as Agent Orange. There can be chemically induced, like medications. There can be things like antibiotics as an example of a medication that can cause peripheral neuropathy. Agent Orange, I think I said that already. Mold. Any number of environmental factors can influence and cause nerve damage. Certain things like Raynaud's syndrome, which is a circulation issue, can lead to or at least be a contributing factor of peripheral neuropathy. So again, 100 known causes. We actually added 2 through COVID because because now we know that COVID and even the COVID vaccines can be causes of peripheral neuropathy. Now, the whole title and the topic here today is setting New Year's resolutions. And when we set resolutions or when we set goals, we need to really keep in mind something. If we're going to be attempting the impossible, which is not, but if everybody says that reversing neuropathy is impossible, it can't be done, learn to get used to it, there's nothing that we can do for it. If we're going to do that, then we need to be able to set realistic goals. Okay, so I want to help you to set those realistic goals, and I want to just say right off the bat, number one, nerves can regenerate. It's well established, well known in scientific research, in the literature. It's well known from brain. Yeah, you can grow new brain tissues, to the peripheral nerves in the fingers and the hands, to the ones down in the feet and the toes. There's no question about it. Nerves can grow. Look up the word neurogenesis. It's Latin. It means nerve regrowth, right? Or new nerves are forming. But we still need to be realistic. Doctors in Western medicine say it's impossible. I'm here saying it's not, but I also want to say it's not easy. I didn't say it was easy, but I did say it can be done. So we need to learn how to set realistic goals. We have to factor in your specific health condition, or more likely your specific health conditions, because oftentimes we have multiple things that are affecting those nerves. We need to think about how long you've had neuropathy. And for a lot of us, we think, oh, I've had it for 6 months or a month or a year. That's how long you had the symptoms of neuropathy. But often it goes even further back because the nerve damage started, you didn't even feel it. So we need to factor in how long you've had the condition. If it really is 1 month compared to somebody who's had it 30 years, we're kind of going to need to change our expectations, okay? We do need to think about the severity of neuropathy. On the familiar pain scale, if you're at a 10, like that's emergency room, we need to kind of be realistic with that, versus if it's just a 1, like, nah, it's just a little bit bothersome, well, that's going to be a different expectation, okay? Let's factor in our age. I hate to say it, but the older we are, the slower we get, the slower we heal things. It's just not as fast. So if you're 23, that's going to be one thing, but if you're 83, well, we have to think a little bit differently. And there's other factors that we have to consider as well. So I would recommend to yourself, with setting your realistic goals, we need to be gentle with yourself. We need to be patient, and we need to be realistic with the goals. It never feels good to set a goal, a lofty goal, and then just to fail in meeting that goal. I want to get rid of all my neuropathy by February 1st. You're giving yourself like a month and a half. That may not be realistic. So, real quick note, if you want help setting your goals, put some comments down at the bottom. Maybe we can help you there, or we can help you with a consultation here at the clinic. So oftentimes we hear commercials. It'll say, make sure you consult with your healthcare professional about Lyrica. See if Lyrica is right for you, or whatever the case is. I'd be cautious with that, okay? You should really only consult healthcare professionals who have experience reversing neuropathy, not those who say it can't be done. Why would you even ask someone, what's your opinion about reversing neuropathy, when they already told you it can't be done, there's nothing that can be done? That's little thinking, okay? That's probably somebody who came through the pharmacological approach toward healthcare, and all they have for you is gabapentin and Lyrica. Well, if they say there's nothing that can be done other than treating the symptoms, that's all they know. Why would you consult someone like that? Think of it. If you're trying to summit Mount Everest, one of the largest mountains in the world, we already know it can be done. But if you go all the way over there and you're looking for your guide, if you find the first one and she says, forget about it, there's no way that you can summit Mount Everest, it just can't be done. Would you hire that guide? I hope not. This is a dangerous and tough journey. Maybe you go down the road a little bit and you see a man and he says, I'm a guide. I'm pretty sure it can be done. I know it can be done. Let's even say, I know it can be done. I've never done it, but I know it can be done. I know lots of people who have done it. I might hire that guy. At least he's got a positive outlook. But the guy I think I would hire would be the one who's probably missing a few fingers due to frostbite. Maybe he's missing his whole foot. He's got scars from falls and trips. Man, this guy has done it 100 times. He's taken 1,000 people there. He's made lots of mistakes. He's done 100 trips. He's summited it 85 times because 15 of them they had to turn around. Wouldn't you want that guy? You want that guy who's done it, that guy who's been beaten up, that guy who's lost fingers, that guy who has figured it out. He's got the right path, and he's even got a second path if that one is blocked or whatever. That is the guide that you want to summit Mount Everest. You want the guide for neuropathy who has summited this thing, who's been there, done that multiple times, who's failed a bunch of times, but then learned from the failures. That's the guide you want. So when it comes to that advice, consult with your healthcare professional. I would only consult with your healthcare professional if they know it can be done and if they've done it. Or maybe if they know it can be done and they're open-minded, okay, fair enough. I would consult with that person perhaps. Let's go over some neuropathy-friendly lifestyle resolutions. Number one is none of these are really easy, okay? But number one, let's get educated on neuropathy, okay? So for you in this Facebook support group, we keep sending out video after video after video, oftentimes testimonial. Guys, these aren't actors and actresses. These are real live patients of ours who have been there, done that. They started out terrible. They went through their journey. They reversed their neuropathy. Plug those into your head. Watch those videos of other people just like you who's did it. You know what I'm saying? They've been through the program and they have reversed it. Also, there's other things that you can do to arm yourself with knowledge, right? Don't listen to the naysayers. Don't listen to the doctors who say it can't be irreversible. You're wasting your energy. You're wasting your time. It can be done. So, other resources for you. Facebook support group. Awesome. Should know at this point, but just in case you don't, I don't have a copy of it here and it's okay, but I wrote a book. It's called Reversing Neuropathy, Making the Impossible Possible, and you can get the book. It's a seller on Amazon. I went ahead and I wrote the book. I had it translated into Spanish. I have it on Kindle, so you can get it on your Kindle. And I even recently put it on Audible, where I read the book to you. Did you like it when your parents used to read you books, or your teacher? I'm going to read the book to you. It's on Audible, and I have a bonus section at the end of Audible where I go into some real live situations and just give you some of my thoughts, things that you won't see in the book. So this is education. This is knowledge. This is probably going to be the easiest step. I just laid out 3 or 4 different places that you can go to arm yourself with knowledge. The next thing, and I got to say this one is probably going to be your biggest bang for your buck. It's not going to cost you a lot of money, but it's going to cost you effort because you have to figure out what to do, and I'm going to help you with that. But then you actually have to do it, and that's a 4-letter word. I know we don't like to hear it, but it's diet. We are what we eat, okay? You have to feed these damaged nerves the good, nourishing nutrition that gives the nerves the supplements, all of the tools and the vitamins, the proteins, the fats. It gives you all of the stuff that you need to grow new healthy nerves. So diet. I'm a big fan of the paleo diet. For my diabetics, I'm a bigger fan of the keto diet. Keto's a little harder. Check out some of my videos on that, but we talk about it. The paleo diet is easy. Here's a book you can get. Write this down, or you can Google it right now. Go to Amazon. It is called The Paleo Diet, and the author is Dr. Lauren Cordain, L-O-R-E-N, Cordain, C-O-R-D-A-I-N. Did you get it? Get the book. Get it used. Get it on Kindle. It's probably available on Audible. It's an excellent book. This is an anti-inflammatory diet that's just a super-duper, really clean diet, void of carbs, sugars. Well, there's some carbs in there. You get it in your fruit and vegetables and things like that. But it's teaching you how to eat so that you can have the best opportunity to heal those nerves. Diet, very, very important. The next thing is physical activity, aka exercise. Okay, exercise. It's important, it's necessary. And I know you're thinking, well, I would exercise, I would walk, but my feet hurt too much. I get it, I know that. So we have to think outside of the box. We got to move. Go to the gym. If you're old enough and you qualify for Medicare, you can get to the Silver Sneakers program where you can get a seriously reduced price for your local gym, maybe even free for some of you, and you can get on in there and you can take a swim class, you can walk in the water, it's not going to hurt your feet, you can take an aerobics class, an aerobics water class, you can get on one of those bikes, a recumbent bike, you can sit back and just twirl around right here, you can do the upper body ergometer with your arms, you can do rowing. There's so many things you can do, but you gotta do. You gotta start. You gotta start somewhere. Go into the gym, set the bike at level 0, spin around for 5 minutes, call it a workout, and go sit in the hot tub. Pat yourself on the back. You started, but you gotta start. Okay. Yoga, that's another really good example. Lots of stuff you can do. Check out the classes at your local gym. Okay. Next thing I want to do is I want to talk about SMART goals. SMART. S-M-A-R-T. SMART. 1. S. S means specific. When we're setting goals, we need to set specific goals. Not just, I want to reverse my neuropathy. I want to feel better. That's not specific enough. You might say, I want to improve my damaged nerves by 50%. Well, that's really specific. We can measure that, which is M. So SMART is specific about your goal. M is measurable. Can you actually measure this? Okay? So I want to reverse my neuropathy by 50%. That's specific. That's measurable. The next one is A. A is achievable. Is that achievable? Can you actually reverse your neuropathy by 50%? Is that actually achievable? Now, for that, you might need help from your doctor, from us, from somebody to determine if, 1, if you actually do have neuropathy, 2, how bad is your neuropathy? Some cases are so far advanced that that particular goal just might not be achievable. Some of you may be setting your goals too low. Maybe your neuropathy isn't as bad as you think, and you can set a higher goal. You can say, I want to achieve 75%. I want to achieve 100% resolution. So we might need a little bit of help trying to figure out achievable. So we got specific for S, measurable is the M, achievable is A. Now we got R. What's R? R is relevant. Is this a relevant goal? I mean, for you, yeah, it would be a relevant goal. Relevant means, is that something that's relevant to me? Is it something that matters to me? I think reversing your neuropathy, X percentage, is relevant. The last one is T. That's time or time bound. We need to set a specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound goal. So in this example, my SMART goal is to reverse my neuropathy by 50% by June 25th, because that's my birthday. That's when I want to do it. Now, we need help on the achievable. Is your neuropathy achievable within a 6-month period of time? So let me just give you a little bit of help if you're going to try and do this on your own. The neuropathies that have about 33% damage to the nerves up to 85%, those neuropathies can take 12 to 18 months for full optimal resolution. If you're 33% damage or less, it could go faster, maybe 9 months, maybe 6 months, but we really have to act fast. As I said before, nerves can heal. We already know that, but they take time. So when setting your SMART goals, make sure that you set a time frame on it. When are you going to start? January 1st. Great. When are you going to achieve that goal? Write it down. You need to write all of these things down and review them every single day. Then what you need to do is set an action plan. What am I actually going to do to make this happen? I'm going to change my diet. What do you mean? I'm going to go paleo. I'm going to do 95%, 85% paleo, or whatever it is. I'm going to do exercise 3 times a week, 200 minutes a week, whatever it is. Be very, very specific. And then we need to get our calendar out. I like the Google Calendar, but we're going to get our calendar out. And we're going to put it in the calendar of I work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I walk on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. I take a break on Sunday. Put it all in there and put it in there at realistic times when you'll likely work out. Okay? If you need help with this, reach out to us. All you need to do is just put a comment below. In fact, I want to ask that. Here's a little call to action. I want to ask for your input here. Okay? I will read the comments. My team and I will read the comments. We will comment back. We're going to do all we can to help you with your goals. Okay? You're in our support group. We care about you. We want to help you to achieve your goals. By the way, for those of you who have already been through my program and you've already reversed it, I would ask for you to put your comments down. If you're comfortable with it, share a little bit about what it was like for you, how the program worked for you, and how you're feeling at the end of the program. And now, if you did the program 3 years ago and you're still doing great, write it in there for those people who are here trying to learn how to reverse it. It's really meaningful to meet other real live people who have been there and done that and are still doing it. It's motivational. So I'm calling on you people who are graduates of the program. Write your comments. Put something like, you can do this. You got this. I did it, and I was feeling like X, Y, and Z, and here I am. I'm playing with my grandkids, and I even walked. We had a person recently say that she did a half marathon. She could barely walk to the mailbox when she started. And now, a year later, she did a half marathon. And she literally shares how she did it, not just with the program, but some of the advanced dietary changes that she made. You can see that video on YouTube. Just put in on my YouTube channel, half marathon. Okay, so you can get that. So we need to take small, achievable steps toward reversing our neuropathy. We need to set some SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. We got to set our SMART goals there for us. Share your comments below. Everybody, share your comments below. At least give me a thumbs up or a like or whatever they call it here on Facebook. But share your comments below. We do need to hear from you. There's so many of you out there who are suffering right now needlessly. I just gave you things that you can do, from goals to diet to exercise to being realistic. I talked about my book. I talked about the paleo handout that we can send to you. Write it in the comment. I'm interested in the paleo handout. Write your comments down below. I look forward to hearing how well you are doing. Let's work together on this. And what else can I say? Blessed to you and the new year, and we look forward to hearing how wonderful you're doing. Love you. Peace out. Take good care. Let's get reversing this irreversible condition.